Hello and welcome. This is The Conversation. It's one platform where we get to interact with young people who are doing exploits and to learn how they got to the top. And the reason for that is so that we can help more people get to the top. My name is Oluwapelumi, and I will be your host for this session of our program. Electricity, which is fast becoming a basic need of man, is said to be absent in over 600 million homes in Africa and in over 80 million homes in Nigeria. This is a big problem because no country, regardless of its continent, can ride its way into prosperity without electricity. In 2017, a young man at the age of 24 decided to face a problem that has existed before he was born. And this young man is an alumnus of the University of Ibadan and the University of Toronto. He is the CEO of Reedy Technology. And in fact, recently, his product, Ready Capsule, was acknowledged to be the best invention in 2021. Today with me in the studio, virtually, he will be sharing with me and everyone watching this right now his ideas about leadership and excellence. Everyone, wherever you are, please welcome Olugbenga Olubanjo. Gbenga, welcome.
Yeah, it's nice having you. It's nice having me here, Pelumi, and thanks for that very amazing introduction.
Thank you so very much. So let's start with you. I want to take you some years back now. How was it like growing up in Ibadan? Yes, because I know you had your childhood days in Ibadan. How was it like having your sand play day in Ibadan?
Yeah, growing up in Ibadan was very, very interesting. I would say I learned every single thing I learned today. All the foundational stuff of my life came from Ibadan. So my parents, I was born in Akure, which I don't know how that happened, but my parents moved to Ibadan when I was probably like when I was 3 or 2 years old.
Wow.
And I probably went to primary school in Ibadan, went to secondary school in Ibadan, also university in Ibadan. And this was because my mom was a government. My mom works for the Oyo State government.
Okay.
She was a teacher, so okay. She's basically a civil servant, all those teacher skills and all those stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very, very amazing period. My parents were very disciplined, so I was not always mixing with like people. I was living in Odinjo area of Ibadan, and it's not a very high class community. I can say it's like it's also not a ghetto, but it's like it's just normal. Let me just use that word. Kind of middle class community. But what my parents did very well was my dad tried his best with what he had to get us in the best of schools. The best of public schools. So I went to Ibadan Grammar School. I went to Wesley College, Ibadan, which is kind of the science school there in Ibadan. And I basically learned everything, competing, excellence from like those like some of my friends today from those schools, Wesley College. Some of them are in Stanford, MIT, and we're still like very, very big pals.
Wow.
So it's a very, very amazing. It was a very, very amazing amazing time for me.
Time for you.
So,
yes.
Yeah, and those foundational what's it called? Those foundational culture, those foundational behaviors, like being accountable, being knowing what, like just waking up early and getting to get stuff to do, and waking up early by 5. Like my dad, you have to wake up by 5 in my house. Like you have to, like my dad will push you to like you have to be your best, anything but the best. Okay. Like all those minor stuff that I was as a kid, I never felt was very important because I felt. At the point I was actually not happy. I felt my dad was doing too much, but today it's one of the biggest asset I have when it comes to my own personality, and I can just push out stuff to like my staffs and every single thing I do and my exploit with work as well.
Fantastic. So let's talk about your idea. What brought you about Ready Capsule? Yes, tell us about it. How did you come about the idea, and why did you choose to pursue that?
Yeah, so Ready Capsule came about in 2017, like you said, when I came to do my master's at the University of Toronto. So I need to go back to tell you how that happened.
Okay.
So I did my fourth degree in UI engineering, spending in UI. And one of the biggest things that happened in UI was that obviously we have very smart kids, but also we have sometimes serious electricity challenges. What I observed was that I was lucky to stay in school inside UI, so I have reasonable amount of power. but like my productivity level was just normal. When I got to Toronto, my productivity level went like 4x. So what that means is that I was surprised about what I could achieve in a very limited period of time if I have a stable electricity. That means my head is kind of generally stable. So what that led to is me thinking through, how can I make this available to people in Nigeria, given the fact that I personally have lived the pain. I spent the first 24 years of my life struggling with one kind of every sort of like electricity challenges. Like my 5 years of going to UI, I never went back to Muslim, Odinjo, where my parents stayed, and that was because at the point there was no power in Muslim for like 2 years, right? In 1 year or 2 years, there was no power. Like, I mean,
2 years, yeah, 2 years, long time.
Yeah, the youths of the community, I think they probably went to like burn up the transformer or like in the NEPA office, and this was just a repercussion, no power for like 2 years. So and I couldn't see my parents uncle for a long time. And I mean, all those things kind of made me see how important and like these electricity issues are. And me being in Toronto, having access to 24/7 electricity, I see how my productivity level increased. And I felt, if this happens to me, imagine the change in productivity that could happen to an average Nigerian. And given the fact that I had access to some resources in U of T, I've lived the pain. I believe I could combine those assets, which is my professional background as an engineer with my experience as a business person. I learned a lot of business from my dad. I can combine it together to actually like build something that can scale. And that's what led to developing Ready Capsule. It was a tough one also, because we're thinking about building a system that not just supply electricity, but it's also affordably supply electricity. But the question in Nigeria, you obviously know, is not about you can supply. It's about the fact that can people actually afford it? Definitely. And that's why we have to like start thinking through, okay, after building technology, what's next? The business model. So we innovated on both the technology and the business model, and that's what we did to build up the Ready Capsule. So the Ready Capsule allows people to access clean electricity with just 50 cents per day, which is around like 300 naira, Nigerian naira. So with just 300 naira, you can have access to 24/7 electricity with the Ready Capsule.
Wow. Incredible adventure. Now, anyone listening to you right now and knows that you are an alumnus of the University of Toronto will not believe you when you say you have lived the pain. So if there's somebody watching this right now who possibly has an idea about what to do, but is looking at the resources needed, what would you recommend the person takes on to get his idea out there?
I mean, so I think ideas are not. So it's not. It depends. I think everybody has resources, sincerely. And I'm not saying it because I think there's a lot of resources out there. And resources, I mean, human capital is the most valuable asset when you are trying to build anything. For me, when I started Ready, I was a student at the University of Toronto. I was basically spending my stipend. I filed the patents with my stipend. That's the money, the tiny stipend I was being paid by the school. It was actually very tiny when you compare to the living condition in Toronto. And I had to use that money to like start. And I obviously brought a lot of friends. So again, based on my friends in UI, my friends in UI, Wesley College, all of them came together to help me. So some of them that had like hardware background, software background, all of them came to help. That's why I said human capital is very important. The moment people trust you and you know you are a very serious person, they tend to rally around to like help you like build your dream. You just have to be able to like influence them, like share with them, let them see the big picture, and in the process they kind of help. And that's what happened to me. I was doing it alone for a long time. I mean, I was doing it alone, but I have a lot of friends that was volunteering, and I did that thing like probably like 2019 when I left UI, when I left U of T, and when the company now started to like scale up. But all the research and all the stuff went into happened within 2017 and 2019. I was a student then. I was doing my degree, but at the same time, I was getting a lot of support from my friends. I was getting a lot of support from U of T as well. Getting a lot of support from folks in Nigeria. It was a chariot of support. It was a very, very web of like support. But again, those came from like some of the connections I've made.
Relationships
I've made. So it's very important to have like human capital. It's actually more important than money. It's not about the cash. It's about like people helping you to do stuff and just believing in you that you are a serious person and you are going to get stuff done when they make their own tiny input. And a lot of them are very proud of what we are doing, what we've done today. Some of them have moved on to do like more bigger things, but like they were very, very proud of that initial contribution, just being part of something like scaling.
Yeah, I understand that totally. How many persons do you have working for you?
Right now we have roughly 20 combining part-time and full-time employees.
Okay.
And we are scaling very fast because we are building a lot of like innovation, and we are scaling it up like very fast.
Very, very fast. Okay, now that you've told us that you have about 20 members of staff, we want you to tell us about what your idea of leadership is, because this conversation is supposed to be around leadership and excellence. You're leading people. Yeah. What does leadership mean to you? To you?
So, I think leadership is about like caring and influencing. So caring first, because number one, everybody wants to be treated as human. So people must see that you care, and you also know where you're going before they can follow you. So and before you can be a leader as well, you have to be a very good follower. So I mean, again, for me, all through my years of life, again, including business, my dad was basically always at the front burner. So my dad taught me a lot of stuff. I mean, and he was leading me to a lot of stuff, and I was just following him as a follower. As a diligent follower, as a diligent son, just following him. I had a couple of like wrestles when I was in UI, when I was in Toronto, that led me. So I mean, you have to be a good follower for you to be a good leader. So, and being a good leader is you be like being able to like really care. People must really know that you care, and they must really know that you really know where you are going, because you are leading people. You're actually just like, you're not really doing all the nitty-gritty work, but you're just like providing a clear vision as regards where they have to go, and just being very, very optimistic. Like for me now, I barely have a downtime. I'm always like very optimistic. Some of my colleagues know me, and I also have a very personal relationship with a lot of my colleagues. Like I have it's just this, like, people just have to know that you care, not like you are just bossing them around and like trying to know. People must know that you genuinely care. And again, everything we did in Ready today was not a function of what I do, was a function of like what a lot of extremely smart and driven people put together. I mean, we are a team driven by a common vision. So that vision is actually what drives us. So for sure, I mean, time to talk about how we started Ready, but Ready will not be ready if not for like all those amazing employees that contributed the best of their best. Some of them working sometimes 24/7 to make sure we get to where we are today. And they're actually what makes up Ready. So I'm just a tiny piece of the old pie.
Yeah. You used the rhyme there. You said Ready will not be ready. What about the name Ready?
So it's actually Ready came from Ready. We're thinking about like how do we have electricity like available, so always ready to go, and so that we're like, okay, yeah, I mean, Ready might be the best name because it's just a name that fits into like what we're trying to do.
Fantastic.
So you want to get electricity, go and get it. Like it's always ready to like pick it up and go. And that's kind of a fabric of like what we are doing. Like our electricity, we provide electricity for you anytime and anywhere, giving the flexibility of our system and the business model. So it's like you're making a spice and you just tie everything up. So with the name and the technology and all those stuff.
So you're saying that the name a brand chooses is very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Now, in one of John Maxwell's book, he spoke about the law of the lead. In other words, that to the level to which a leader's capacity increases, his impact also increases. How does that relate to you and in your company so far? How have you grown? What have you done for yourself personally since the time you started that company?
Yeah, so I 100% agree with you on that. That quote is like, it's 100% right, because if you don't know enough, you can't even like guide people, because if you're not guiding zombies, like for us, we have a very high talent density when it comes to like how we hire people. So high talent density, I mean, we have like extremely smart people. So what that means is that you yourself as a leader, you have to always know. Like you have to be well informed about what's going on, trends, models, ideas, and you obviously have to be flexible. So for me, I do a lot of reading. I read a lot. Like a day doesn't go without me consuming something new. From both blogs, books, audiobooks. Like I explore everything. So for me, it's all about like being like, you have to be a reader. Like you have to read, and it's not like reading for the sake of reading. It's reading for the sake of you yourself, because especially in business, it's very competitive. You must be able to combine multiple knowledge from multiple sectors. For me, I read a lot, like HBR, a lot of like insight from both academics, experts, just blogs, even just tweets. Like just combining all those knowledge together and seeing what you can pick up from this, what you can pick up from that, and how you can combine it to like push your vision forward. And again, when I also bring this to like the table when it comes to like some of the innovations that we are building or some of the way we are optimizing products at Ready, our staffs they have the ability to also like question it. Like we run an open innovation company where everybody is tasked to innovate. So you are basically just all innovating. And so automatically we even like we try to equip our staff also to be like very, very knowledge savvy, because in that we are able to like bring out the best. Remember, it's a team game and it's not like one person. So everybody must be able to contribute in their own unique way and get stuff done. And that's how we've been where we are today. And I'm still reading, still learning, still trying my best to upskill, because we're in the technology space and things are changing very, very fast. So we are trying to keep up with the pace of change by just staying at the top of almost every information and almost every new knowledge that comes out from the industry.
Fantastic. I agree with you 100% on that. I have some very, very selected questions I want to throw at you now, and I hope you're ready for those powerful questions. Are you?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, okay. The other day I saw your picture online. You were having a conversation with Bill Gates. Yes.
Yeah. That was early November. Yeah.
Fantastic. So looking at your company, what company represents like a model for your company to go by, to follow their path? What company looks like that?
It's a very popular company, but I think we love to play like the Tesla game, kind of Tesla or like / Apple, and the goal is that we are trying to pioneer new industries and with new models. If you look at what we are doing with Ready Capsule, like our rental model, we are the first to do the way we are doing rental in the whole of Africa. I don't know if nobody does the rental the way we do it. And we like when it comes to electricity, the way we supply it. And when we started, a lot of people thought we are crazy. But like people are trying to like see the value, the merits in what we've done. And the beauty of pioneering is the fact that you unlock more problems. So right now we started with Ready Capsules, building hardware, just tough, just complex. People told us it's not going to work, but we're very, very aggressive when it comes to like pushing the visions that we believe in. So luckily for us, and thanks to God, we pushed through and we're able to like crack that. And right now we have like a lot of people subscribing to the capsule and using the capsule.
Wow.
Using the capsule. But at the same time, that problem automatically also unlock new problems. So what we observed was that when we were building the Ready Capsule, there was no digital infrastructure to do rental at scale. So what that means is that for us, because we are coming into the market as a rental option, as a service, majority of the companies that came in were doing like just direct sales. So all those just sell. But we are coming to rent. So for to rent, there's a lot of like in a country like Nigeria where there's low trust. So you need to build a lot of systems to guide how people can like safely rent. What we got to know was that building that structure for Ready allowed us to unlock new innovation. So we have a software that we just launched 2 months ago called temporary ownership. That's where the word came from. And the goal is it was an infrastructure that we built to scale the Ready Capsule. But right now we are having like conversation with agricultural equipment owners, construction equipment owners, even people in furniture, where you can rent furniture, you can rent construction equipment, you can rent agricultural equipment through the same what's called digital infrastructure. So you can see how if you are pioneering an industry, it kind of unlocks more, especially if you are genuinely doing it and you are going very, very deep. And that's what we try to do as a company. We try to go very deep to unlock and understand the problem, and that's been one of the assets, one of our best assets, and some of the best that we know. We chase very tough problems. We try our best to crack it. We try ourselves to it, and those problems automatically just opens our eyes to see very, very critical problems that could actually create value. So we create value there and capture the value.
Fantastic. One of the things I read about your company is that over 600 homes now in Lagos use your product. Is that true?
So we have over 600 houses and businesses that rent Ready Capsule every month on daily rental every month. So we are scaling that very fast. our goal is that by Q1 next year, we're expecting to have at over 5,000 daily rentals of the Ready Capsule. Over 5,000 daily rentals per month of the Ready Capsule. Okay. So we're working very fast. Our infrastructure is good to go. It's operating now, and we're just very excited about a lot of new things that we are going to crack at this scale. And our team are very geared up to also make it possible.
Wow, that's a good team you have right there.
Yeah, they are very fantastic people. Like I said, they are the guys making it happen. They work tireless to make sure all this happens. I mean, we basically work very, very hard. Like we are not the kind of the average 95. Everybody that comes to Ready basically just come and you get work done. We don't have like time when you start and end. We just get work done. And so, but there's a kind of culture of, like I said, open innovation culture where everybody, and we deeply care about every staff. Like everybody, we care about everybody because, like I said, it's not like a family. Like, so you are coming to a family where you have to innovate, but at the same time, we deeply care about everything that is going with you, and we also care about your growth. So for us, it's like mixing that vibe of like open innovation and mixing it up with like working and mixing it up with like building. It makes everybody get excited, and everybody can see the big picture because they are all contributors to the goal.
Okay. Now, knowing that there are over 400 million people in Africa who are poor, how come you have decided to ensure that this product is available for Africans? Because my question really is this business actually profitable? Because many Africans are poor. How are you being able to merge all of that together to ensure that you stay above water?
Yeah, so again, the Africans, the model we use, the reason why we are using a digital, we are using rental, we are renting the capsules out, and we're not selling it. We sell the capsule outrightly for people that can afford to buy it, and it goes for around like $250 to $300 depending on where you're buying it from.
Okay.
But like we that's for people that want to buy outrightly. People that buy outrightly have the funds to obviously buy. They have $300 that they can just pay right away. We've partnered with banks, so people that want to buy outrightly but can't afford to buy the capsules, that buy the capsules like at a go. So we've partnered with like Carbon, partner with Sterling Bank to provide like some kind of structured paying installment that they can explore. But for people that can, but even that was not our initial model. Because our core model is rental. For everybody, you can get the capsules. You can get the capsule for just 300 naira per day, which is like the cost of like. So people can contribute. We've seen people contribute together to like use the capsule. So the cost of buying Coke or buying a food or buying like just getting a meal in a day, you can you can actually just use it to like get access to electricity. And the beauty of it is that you are not limited by any upfront payment. So you are not. There's like the goal. Our goal is to eliminate those barriers eliminate the barriers around accessing to electricity. So what I'll allow us to do is that with just $300 you can have access to like clean electricity for 24 hours for a whole day. So it's a model that is open to everybody. Yes. And our goal from the get-go was to make sure it's open, because for me, like I said, as at 2014, before leaving Nigeria for Toronto, I'm always going back and forth. I was part of that 8 million Nigerians that struggle with electricity challenges. So I built it from that understanding of like, this thing must work for me. It has to work for me because I came to Toronto on the scholarship, so it wasn't like I have some money to come and pay. No, everything I got was like I was core middle class, like core middle class. So I know the pain of like not having like access to money. I know all those stuff, and all those were built into the fabric of the innovation that we built. Okay. To make sure with just $300 you can access electricity.
Powerful, and I get that absolutely. I want to ask you this question. It's a very particular question in regards to excellence. How have you been able to raise your level? Because when I saw the picture with you that you took with you and Bill Gates, I thought in my mind that this young man, if he has not gained some level of confidence as touching what he does, he won't have that boldness to walk up to a global man like that to communicate your idea to him. So how have you been able to merge leadership excellence and being a startup? Because most startups really complain about the fact that they don't have money to spend to actually raise the bar to do stuff that project excellence. So how have you been, this is 4 years now, how have you been able to merge leadership, being a startup, and then excellence together?
Yeah, so I think excellence itself is a virtue. So for me, I mean, all through my life, I've been very lucky to, like I said, thanks to my dad. My dad is a very detailed person. So very detailed, I mean, every single thing must be done with like intentionality. So like you don't just do it because everybody's doing it. You don't do like there's a kind of that for me is something that I gained from my parents that becomes like asset to me today. I don't know how it came, but you're just like so when we are working on anything, even our staffs know everything must be intentional. Like every single thing we do, for every I we dot, to every statement we make on our website, to every graph we build, to even the design of the capsule, every single thing was done intentionally. Like you said, from the name to everything was like within. So there's this kind of deep intentionality, and that for us is because we are putting our name out there, we are putting our name behind the brand, and we want to be able to like project that excellence. And luckily for us, we have people that see through it. So like the Short Prize got us to like being in the same room with likes of Brigade, Boris Johnson, Prince Williams and co. And that's because they saw the excellence in what we're doing. So we're able to communicate that to them, went through a rigorous obviously overview and due diligence and co. And they saw that these guys have something not only unique but also well laid out. So like it's us combining both the future and the now, but making sure we do it with very, very detailed intentionality. I think excellence is all about just being very, very intentional in everything you do, both when it comes to work, how you communicate, how you talk, how you dress, how you present stuff. Like my staff knows from my slide, you see my slide, there's a kind of deeper level of like making sure it's well done. And that's also because I have like, it's not just me doing it. When we do this, we kind of show it to like some other people that share the same values with us, and they give us their feedback. So before everything goes out from us, there's been a lot of like rigorous like process in the background that makes sure it goes out with a peak of like like you can see a touch of like excellence in what we do. So it's communicating that also to my staffs. Like all of them knows that. Like some of our colleagues, some of our staffs, they know how intentional everything has to be done. Because I'm going to ask you, the question I love to ask is, what do you think? Even when you bring a problem to me, I'm going to push it back to you and tell you, what do you think about this? Because, like I said, the goal for us, luckily we run an open innovation culture that forces everybody to think through. So in the process of thinking through, we kind of unlock unique knowledge that are now excellently presented to the world. So like for Tempo now, Tempo did not come out from like me thinking about it. It came out from like a lot of work we're doing, and we just saw that, oh, we can actually build this. It was from one of our side that told us, oh, why not do this? They were like, okay, we can do this, do that. Kind of did a couple of research, check there, and make sure, see if there's a market there, there's a what's it called? A value to capture, and we just like develop that value. And it was even in the process of developing value, everything is constantly being checked. So we are always questioning ourselves to make sure we are doing the best every time. Like that, and that's the beauty. That's what I like about my job. Like that's what I like about my job. There's nothing set in spirit. Things can change. We change our motto from everyone's energy to limitless innovation, because we observe that we are going to the point where we are continuously innovating. And like I said, everything we do is like intentionally done, and that intentionality for me is where the excellence comes.
Intentionality is key there.
Intentionally in everything, actually not in everything. No. So from how you do it to what you to the way you do it to how you present it, and that also like it kind of spread across the culture you lay out in your organization. For me, for our staffs, they know all this. Like you can't just push out anything from digital to operations to technology. Every single thing is done with intention and with the goal that we are building this thing for a larger group. And if like, are you building it for yourself? Is it something that you can confidently use? And in the process, we kind of ask all these questions, and like it frames and shapes how we do stuff. Yeah,
Gbenga, I must thank you so much for sharing from your heart. I felt it when you were sharing. I just felt it that you were sharing from your very heart. I have one more question for you, and this question is a powerful question I'd like you to think about for 1 second before you throw in answers. Because as you sit here and as I sit here, there are over 1 million people watching this. And I know that there are two categories of people watching this right now. Number one, people who who are young and have ideas but don't know how to go about it. But two people who are young, have ideas but don't have the money to get it done. They have the passion, the energy, but they don't have the ego to get it done. So what would you say if you have the opportunity to address the totality of Nigerians' youth and share your heart with them, considering the two categories I've listed just now?
So looking at the two categories, thanks so much. That's a very deep one. I'm thinking of how to best frame this. Yeah, if you have an idea, or if you have an idea, just do it.
Just do
it with the least resources you have. I mean, for me, I'm one of those people that don't believe nobody has the resources. Money is not the only resource you need to start up anything. And something that people need to also be very aware of is that if you don't move the wheel doesn't. If you don't play a game, you don't win it. So what that means is that if you don't start, you're not even gonna get it at all. So if it's like if you don't, like, for me now, when I was starting Ready, if I didn't make that leap of like, I'm gonna spend my own money, added money, by the way, I actually that money was like, it was like cutthroat money. If I didn't spend that money, I won't be able to like unlock more capital because people will not trust you enough. You cannot be show what you can do on your own. I agree. So if you have something and you have an idea, go do it. Like just start, and you're gonna be. There's nothing just came out perfect. Like for us, we made a lot of mistakes, and we are still making mistakes now. Mistakes, failure is part of. It's a stepping stone to it's a stepping stone to success. Like you have to failing a lot is very, very important. Like you have to be able to show your scar. I always tell some of my staff that when we make mistakes or when we make some wrong decision and we probably do something wrong, we just paid money. Probably if we lose some money, we just paid money to actually like to learn that. That's
definitely yes. So
it's that mindset of like I know failure is imminent, but I also know I'm going towards something. And what that failure does is that it kind of clarifies and make me see the options that I should not take. So I mean, if you are doing something new, you are going to fail. Yeah. But you have to start. If you don't start, you are not going to get there. And there's nothing around like you don't have money. Like there's nothing around. Just start with anything. If you want to build, and it's like start talking to people. Even if you just talk to people or making a website, or like there's no excuse in like saying you don't have money. Like that's not even an excuse at all. Because trust me, if that's an excuse, I won't be here today. Also, like I don't have money to go to Toronto. I got this scholarship. I actually don't have money to go to UI. I got this scholarship. So like it's not about money. It's about like, are you driven in? Are you like very driven enough to like go chase your dream? And you'll be surprised how the universe model everything together for you. And again, if you're also a Christian, obviously like majority of people listening to this are Christians, but like there's something you do with faith when you know you have solid backing, and God just works things together for you. Like for me, today we are building a lot of innovation, but I can tell you that in 2019 we're at the point where like on minus thousands of dollars. What that means is that I'm in a country like Toronto. I'm on like negative, like way negative, like deep negative. I'm owing school fees. I couldn't pay school fees, and I still have to run this startup. And I have an option like that to give up or continue. I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna see how this is gonna go, and I just threw myself into it. But again, with faith, with deep confidence that okay, this is what I'm led to do, and this is what I'm going to do.
Definitely.
So like, you don't need to do it. You need to fix, and you need to be prayerful. There are a lot of forces that guide stuff besides just being excellent. There's a lot of forces that guide it. So you have to be able to anchor yourself spiritually, mentally, physically. Just make sure you like. I mean, for me, I've been lucky to enjoy a lot of grace. God has been so faithful to my life. Biblical principles are not to be substituted for like business principles. Okay. Biblical principles: give us, never lack. Okay. If you don't give, you don't receive. If you don't make some contribution, you don't grow. Thank you. Those things are baseline. Like there's not those. There are some principles. You have to also be kingdom minded. For me, my goal for business, my reason why we build what we are building in Ready is to glorify God through our work. Certainly. So every single thing we do is that mindset of like glorifying God. And you know, God is a God of excellence as well. Yes. So you must be able to go with that kind of mindset, not the mindset of like, I want to make money, no. Like you don't even start with mindset mindset of making money. You go with the mindset like you trying to be a reflection of God's glory. And when people see that, people pay for that. And by default, you can, some of those more funds can go into like you funding some godly or kingdom projects.
Yeah.
So again, there's more to this thing than like, for me. I mean, I also don't joke with like seed. It's very important. A lot of people say it's a bullshit, but I can tell you, I believe with you. I don't listen to those kind of naysayers, because trust me, there's a reason why just a fraction of people are not making progress, and a lot of people are just making noise about like things that are not. These things are critical to growth.
Thank you.
And this, beside your excellence, beside your, like, these things are very, very, very critical.
Thank you.
If you don't give, don't receive.
Yeah.
And for the guys that probably are just starting, and they probably don't have an idea of there's a need for you to also like put yourself in learning. Like, you need to have enough knowledge for you to say you can even start anything on your own. Like for me, like I said, I was lucky to have a dad that was also an entrepreneur. It taught me a lot of things I know today. I've been doing business with my dad since primary school. So my dad taught me a lot about like business, even though he was not doing it at a very high scale. Okay. But the scale at which it was, I learned it because businesses are businesses. Let me just use that word. The principles are kind of exactly similar. Yeah. So it's very important for you to do a lot of learn. But at the same time, what we say, like, read that. I mean, when I was reading UI, the word is always like, read as if you never pray, and pray as if you never read. So combine both together, and you will see the world. You'll be a living wonder in the world. I mean, for me, I don't joke with both sides. It's very, very important for you to be like very, very minded, but also do the work. Like faith without work is dead. So you have to be able to like walk, but walk with an understanding of like, you have a very solid backing. And that's why for us, God has been so faithful to us. We've never lacked anything. We've just been going from leaps and bounds. And that's because we know these truths and we apply these truths even to every single thing we do. We don't joke with it.
Thank you so very, very much for sharing all of that with us today. If we take all the questions that I have for you, we won't leave here today. I want to thank you so much for sparing your time to be with us today, to share your ideas and thought with us. If you are out there and you are afraid of starting your idea, just like Gbenga said here, if you don't play a game, you stand no chance of winning. If you play, you can win, lose, or draw. But if you don't play, you stand no chance at all of winning. It's been an amazing time, and I believe you enjoyed every bit of it. Now, do me a favor now. Copy this link and send to everyone you know alive today. Copy and send to every young person you know alive today, because they need to listen to this man's story and how he was able to scale through everything he had to scale through and get to the height he is today. My name is Oluwapelumi. I went like, come your way next time. Keep keeping up. Thank you.